Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn how to design a light switch wall plate just like the one seen here. And we're going to design it like this because later we're going to go ahead and plasma cut this thing out with our plasma cutter. And these tabs here that stick out on the top and bottom and sides here, we're going to bend these 90 degrees later with our metal brake. All right. And then hopefully when we're all finished, we're going to go ahead and laser engrave a cool logo or some text on here. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing you want to do is go ahead, come up to File, and let's do a new design. Let's come on up here and start a new sketch here on our XY plane. I'm going to go ahead and close out my data panel here. And the first thing I'm going to do now is draw a 2-point rectangle. I'm going to click here at the origin and I'm going to extend it out here a distance of 3.23 inches. Hit the tab button and 5.04 inches. And hit enter. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is grab my square tool again, and on every corner I'm going to just create a little square, and I want those square dimensions to be 0.236. Hit the tab button by 0.236. Hit enter. Okay, I'm going to do that for every corner. So I'm going to come back here and I'll zoom in here. So 0.236, hit the tab button by 0.236 and hit enter. And I'm just going to keep going around and doing that here. Alright, looks pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do some trimming here. So come on over to your trim tool and we're going to go ahead and cut these guys out. Whoops. Wrong line. And you may have noticed that your dimensions go away, and that's okay. We will add some more in here in just a second. Alright, so you should have something that looks like this. So hopefully you still have these two dimensions left. Now let's go ahead and dimension every side here so that it's 0.236. And we want to go ahead and, since we deleted these, we want to go ahead now and make sure that our overall dimensions are still the same. We want this to be 5.04 and our overall width to be 1.38, or I'm sorry, 3.23, and that looks good. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make a square right in the center for our light switch. So I'm just going to kind of randomly draw out a square, something like this, and we're going to go ahead and put some location dimensions on it so we properly center this guy. We want this distance here to be 1.41. Enter, and this distance right here to be 2.09. Okay, and we want to make this thing across. We want this distance here to be 0.41. Okay, and then we want the total height of our square here to be 0.984 inches. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we want to go ahead and we got to make some holes here for our screws. So I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to come up here to the midpoint. I'm going to come straight down and I'm going to drag out a hole or circle here with a diameter of 0.04. And you're going like, hey, Mr. Floyd, that's really slow. That's really small, and that's because when we go to plasma cut this, it's actually going to come out a fair amount bigger. Okay, so we got to add one more of these, and I'm going to just come to the center again, and once again I'm going to come straight down and add another one, another circle here with a diameter of 0.04, and I'm going to hit enter. Okay, and now let's go ahead and dimension these guys. I'm going to zoom in here so we can see them a little better. So we want the center of that hole, we want that distance to be 1.3 inches. And we want the distance between each hole, and this is important if you want your wall plate to mount correctly, we want this distance to be 2.38. Hit enter. All right, so that'll do it for all of our dimensions. When you are done, please double check the dimensions and make sure you have all of them correct here. Okay, so when you've double checked your dimensions and everything looks good, let's go ahead and finish our sketch, and we're going to go ahead and extrude this guy out a distance of 0.036 inches, which is basically your typical 20 gauge thickness of sheet metal. Go ahead and select OK. All right, when you're finally done, go ahead and save it. But what's more important than saving it in this case is we want to go over here to Sketch. We want to right click, Save as DXF. So this is the file that you're going to need to take to the plasma cutter. So we're going to go ahead and select Save as DXF. Okay, and then once you have a thumb drive in your computer, okay, you're going to want to save that file to the thumb drive. So I'm going to come on over here, find my thumb drive. Okay, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to call it wall plate, and make sure you save it with your name in there. Okay, so we don't get it confused with other students. And then go ahead and select save. Okay, and once you have your file saved as a DXF file on your thumb drive, you're good to go. Once again, don't forget to save it up here. That'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching.